It's a kind of magic. Because I was thinking about your magic, Eleanor, and I was thinking to myself, look at this whopper. That's a kite, isn't it? There. It's got its tail. Have a look at my tail. There's a lot of past on there, isn't there? I'm 40. Imagine how long it's going to be in about 20 years' time. Hopefully it might have Peter Andre on there as well. Basically, I think when you're flying a kite, when you've got the tail on the end, how many people here have ever flown a kite? It's such a relief to get it in the sky for a start. And that's like your career, really, isn't it? How many people here remember the angst that perhaps the two students are feeling about getting a job? And they're fresh and they've got so much. I wanted to be fresh and young again, did you? And have a little run round with Matt and Emma, I thought, did you? Cumbria's not far. I haven't been out in a while. So here's my tail. Now, how many of you here have got things that you could tie on the tail of your kite? Good and bad, because there was a few, And the thing is, sometimes we let them drag them down, but I think actually the longer your tail and the more decorative, the more it stands out in the sky. And actually, that's what we should use our past for, is to decorate us, because it's part of who we are today. When I left on April the 1st, like Matt said, right now, stood in front of you 9 years later, I am a totally different person. And anybody want any top tips? Success is the best form of revenge. Oh, yes. Once you've put your past on the tail, then we've talked a lot about honesty. And I loved it in the evoke cards when we were talking about our values and our beliefs, because that's what gives you a truth and why you do your job. And I think some people in here actually are the most refreshingly truthful people I've met in a long time, because you're dealing with something so real, so raw emotionally, and yet you're all doing it with honesty and integrity. You're not pretending that it's not there. You're facing it and helping people deal with that. You truly are not a plastic superhero like Buzz Lightyear, but you are actually true, ordinary people doing absolutely amazing things. Do you realise that about yourself? Do you? I need to shout that to you, because you are, that's what we were struck by at the back of the room today, is how amazing you are. And why you're amazing is because you step into your integrity and truth on a daily basis. But the thing is, there are people in our lives who make us step out of truth and integrity. I like to call them the kite tuggers. Anybody working with a kite tugger, living with a kite tugger, sat next to a kite tugger? Just do that with your eyes. I know who you are. This lovely kite tugger is my gran, Shonette's mum's mum. She is a fabulous kite tugger. It's a profession to tug your kite out the sky. Recently, we just signed for a creation of a TV show called Shonette Shares. It's going to be like a posh Jeremy Kyle. You can all come on. And everybody's going to be washed and not in a tracksuit. Do you know what I mean? Let's start. We're so excited. We're day tripping down to London. We're learning how to do social media and all that kind of stuff. And what does my gran say? Well, what channel's it going to be on? And I said, oh, I don't know. It might be BBC or ITV. Oh, wow. Well, you know, Emmerdale's the best thing on ITV. And if you're on that BBC, they've sold the London thing, haven't they? So you'll be going out to that Wales or somewhere like that. Your motivation is instantly sucked out. Your kite is just on the floor like it is there, and you're left to pick it up. Now, everybody has a kite tugger. You can't deny it. They're there. They're there for those positive people just to keep them a little bit lower than higher. That's what I think. And I think the thing about them is we've got to accept that they're there and almost say to them, are you tugging my kite? That's a tricky conversation, isn't it? We also have the type of kite tugger that likes to take hold of your kite to help you fly it. Has anybody got one of them? You know, and you're like, get off my kite. Get off. Because our kite is our vision, our truth, our integrity. Fly your own. That's what I like to say. But it's tricky, isn't it, on a daily basis? When you come from your conference and you're buzzing with ideas and you go in and you're like, yeah, get the evoke cards out. Everybody's like that. Depressed. That's how I feel, kind. Yeah, we've done them cards before. So for me, we've totally got to be aware of Shonette's mum's mum, you know, because they're out there. There can be men as well. There could be Shonette's mum's dad. You never know, could you? Look who she's married to. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? Because what kite tuggers do to our groups and to our motivation is they actually breed. They're contagious, aren't they? Once somebody starts, then, oh, yeah. And it usually happens in a cupboard somewhere, doesn't it? Usually, and then you walk in and everybody stops talking. We weren't talking about you. And you know fine well they were talking about you. So we have to be aware of them because they do drain us quite a lot. But I think when we go back to your teams that you facilitate with, you can draw up the kite vision together. What parts of your past are good and bad that have got your team to where they are today? What is your integrity and truth working together? And I think that patient core that you were talking about is totally where you are. But what about your own personal kite? Because we've talked a lot about other people, but you are so important, aren't you? Yes. Thank you for those 3 people who went yes. But that's the trouble in a caring profession, isn't it? We actually don't value our own kites, do we? And we're not actually using a person-centred approach, are we? We all know that we should eat 5 a day. I had some carrot cake earlier. That was mine. But the thing is, we don't actually do it for ourselves. And what I want you to take away from this session is, what does your kite look like? What do you need to put on the tail? And what's going to get you up higher and higher? Because anybody doing a weight loss program? I struggle, do you? I just like cake. I can't help it. And you see, what we need if we're going to maintain motivation and if we're going to go to infinity and beyond is something that these ladies here definitely don't have. She's lost the will to live over there. She's telling her about a new diet that's called licking lettuce. Did anybody know that one? Brand new, on the internet. Yeah, download it. You get some paper lettuce, which is even better. And a quick lick and that's it. She's off to buy that in a minute. This is what I want you to find, is your excitement, your engagement. We talked about the now earlier, and the now is so important. When you're dealing with death like you are, you know that. But what about your now? What does your now look like? Is it exciting? Does it make you go, woohoo? Or does it make you go, really? What is important to you? Shoes are important to me. What does that Emma was young. Who would have loved to be that young and have time to make a PowerPoint about yourself? I would. That's what I was thinking. thinking, I want to be that young and not... Because when you get older, you don't have that time. I haven't got time to make a PowerPoint about that. But I'd love to. And when I go home, I might even make some pictures on the table for the teenagers and ask my teenagers as well, because it's a tricky time, isn't it? It's a tricky time between parents and children, teenage years. Anybody got older? Anybody got ones that you've survived? You know? Don't say it gets worse, because I can't take it. They haven't even left. And I've got 2 stepchildren as well now. That's 6 if you're good at maths. 6. I tell you what, I'll tweet me odd sock basket later. That's not motivational at all, I'll tell you that. So what I want you to think about is, what's your truth? What's your integrity? What do you need to kick into touch and put on the tail of your kite? Who's dragging your kite down? Do you need to have a swallow the frog conversation with that person? You know, I call it swallow the frog because it's one of them tricky conversations you'd rather swallow a frog than talk to them. It's better to get it out the way first, you know, that kind of thing. And what's going to bring excitement to you and to your team in Infinity and Beyond? We don't know what's out there for any of us, do we? That's the truth. But actually, you have got your kite. It's real. It's here today. And you have had a sensational day. But I want you to walk away knowing how important you are. You really are making a difference. You are powerful, amazing people. I feel totally honoured to stand in front of you and to be motivating you because you're just amazing. Full stop, as they say in school. So, what I want us to do is I want us to stand up, okay? So, are you ready? Let's go fly a kite up to the highest height. Let's go fly a kite and send you soaring. Well done, everybody. I am Shonette Bason.
Hi, we're at the Holiday Inn and I've just seen Shonette Bason do her motivational speech around flying kites, and she's had the room on their feet and everybody has left absolutely soaring.
I thought Shonette Bason was absolutely fantastic. We have just had our 4th National Facilitators Conference for those working in end-of-life care, and she was just phenomenal, really motivational, really uplifting and very, very funny. And I'd just like to say, Shonette, thank you from all of us. You have lifted our spirits and just made an absolutely perfect end to the day. Thank you.